Hello everyone and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 24. Today's video I'm going to show you how to tackle the circuit of Assen and to show you how to get the best possible sector time in each of the sectors here in the TT circuit of Assen. So here we go then, guys and girls. We're going to be using the factory Yamaha with Fabio Quartararo. Right hand side of your screen is my PS5 controller, and the overlay will depict all of my button presses within this video. If you want to see what particular button does, head over to the description box to see exactly what the configuration is for this controller. So first things first then, into sector 1, we want to be braking nice and early going into the hardbot corner. Run it wide, but do not touch the offside of the circuit because that will invalidate your lap time. Move over to the right-hander for the also broken corner, run it a little bit wide, then bring it back in tight to the apex of turn 4. Now into left-hand side, you want to brake on an angle, use around 50 to 60% of the brake, drop down to first gear, immediately upshift to second as you get onto acceleration, and get across the end of the sector to conclude sector 1. So it's pretty fast, this first sector, so it's going to be very quick and flowing, this video, because of course that's the nature of Assen. So choose your electronics and choose them wisely, and then prepare yourself to go from the gear timber chicane all the way down to the hardbot corner for turn 1, and here we go. So left hand side of your screen, there's the massive Brembo sign on your left hand side there. That is a great reference point for braking in to turn 1 here in Assen. So focus on that braking point, brake a little bit before and brake a little bit after, and see which one works best for you. Follow the lines of the circuit and keep him really tight to the apex, and as you get to this point here, start turning across to the left hand side, keep a really tight apex to the stubborn corner, upshift quickly up into second gear, up to third gear, and that'll keep the Yamaha from wheeling too much. Now for sector 2, we're going to basically just start where we finished. So once again, we're going to take over from the autopilot and take over and going into the stubborn corner with the chance of acceleration. So here we go then. First gear, second gear, up to third gear, trying to keep the front end down of the Yamaha YZR M1. Now into the right hand side, we're going to keep it in nice and tight. Don't worry about braking on an angle there, it's absolutely fine. Brake again into the Ruskin hook and get onto the power to achieve the objective time yet again. So as I mentioned, it's going to be a lot of upshifting here to try and keep the wheelie down on the Yamaha. The bike isn't too bad for wheeling, but if you get too aggressive with the throttle and you don't upshift quickly, you will find the Yamaha will continue to wheelie, so just be very, very careful of that. Now as you accelerate down here, look over to your right hand side and start turning in really early for the Weinschlang. It's a difficult corner to get right, but I can guarantee you turn in early, it'll pay dividends rather than turning too late. So now from the Weinschlang again, we're going to go into the left hand side, this time for the Ruskin hook, and we're going to take over from the autopilot. Now into the right hand side for the stack and valve, keep it in tight. Ride height device here is completely optional. I'll show you with and I'll show you without in today's video as we now go into the left hander for debult. Very difficult corner. What I can tell you is to make sure you brake much more gentle than you may think. If you brake really aggressively there, the bike's going to lock and you're not going to be able to turn into the left hander, so be very careful for turn 9. We're going to see it again in a moment, and again I can show you exactly where to brake and how to do it, how much pressure needs to be done for that difficult turn 9. So now into the stack and vault, keep over to the right hand side. I'm going to use the ride height device again here, but when we get to the complete lap, I'll turn it off, and as we now go on the brakes, look at the brakes there, look at the pressure being pressed into the L2 button. Not all that much, but enough to get the bike stopped. Same thing can be said going into the Mandovan as we run it a little bit wide, bring it back in tight, upshift into third gear here, gives you way more speed and grip going into the right-hander than gear 2 does. And now for sector 4, we're going to be starting from quite a long way back, from debult into Mandovan and all the way into the right-hander here. So the AI is going to put you in a dodgy spot, position yourself where you want to be, and then get onto the power. Upshift into third gear and move over to the right hand side. I had a bit of a wheelie there, so I got caught on the curb ever so slightly. Try and avoid that, I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Brake here on the left hand side after reaching 6th gear, keep it in tight for the ramshock and get onto the power. Best spot to brake here for the timber chicane is as soon as the rumble strip materialises on the left hand side of your screen. Really fast circuit to get right, but I can assure you, brake at that rumble strip starting point and you should be fine for the gear timber chicane. We're going to see sector 4 just one more time. So steel yourself, guys. This is a very fast sector. It disappears ever so quickly. This time we're also going to avoid the wheelie by upshifting into third gear here. Move over to the right hand side, again like we did with the Wien-Schlang, turn in early. It might feel unorthodox at first, but I guarantee it is the best way to do it. The faster speeds you get, the harder the bike is to move. Keep on moving early. Gear to chicanes there, braking a little bit later than I did earlier, but more or less near where that rumble strip starts, and I can assure you that will help your experience and chances of getting the gold here in Assen. So now it's time for the complete lap. I will tell you this is going to go past pretty quickly, so you may have to watch this once or twice. Sort out your electronics, sort out the gear to chicane, and then we can start on it once again in the very fast flowing circuit of Assen. Ride height device enabled, look to your Brembo sign on your left hand side there, start braking in. A lot of brake being used, bit of rear brake as well. Tight to the apex across the rumble strip, and the same can be said for the Magic corner for turn 2. Now into the right-hander, downshifting into second for the Ossenbroken corner. Gentle on that power. Really relax, really calm, really patient until you get up to the Strubben corner where you again, nice and easy on the brakes, early on the brakes, downshift to first, and then quickly start upshifting through the gears. Short shifting means you're less wheelie, so try it and see how you feel with that bit of advice there. Now into the left-hand side for the Russian hook. We're going to move over to the left-hand side. It's important to go into this corner to swing into the Steckenval. Now we have an opportunity to use the ride height device onto the power and start braking in nice and early for the Dibbelt corner. As mentioned earlier, not too aggressive. If you brake too much, front wheel locks, you can't turn the bike in. Now into the Mandoven corner on the right-hand side of the tyre. Quick upshift into third gear and lean over to the right-hand side. Position yourself straight line and turn just as you get closer and closer to the Mio Mimmer. Oh, I can never say that corner's name. Apologies, but now into the left-hand side for the Hog Hider and then into turn 14 for another tight apex. Don't be afraid of using a bit of front brake into that left-hander there because it does help reduce the apex and get tighter to that corner. Quick movement into the final corner. Ride height device is optional, but compared to the autopilot, I would use it in those situations. So now we're going to do it just one more time, guys. I do appreciate this circuit is extremely fast. It's also difficult for me to keep up as well because there's so many more corners and turns and sharp changes of direction. It is a very difficult corner and difficult circuit to get right. This time, again, ride height device enabled, Brembo sign to your left. Start braking in there. Nice and firm on that initial press and reduce as you get closer and closer towards the apex. From here, you want to move over to the right-hand side, hit the curb here, and start braking back into the Ossenbroken for turn 3. Gentle on the power, patience, waiting for the corner to end. Now you can start turning into the Strubben corner for turn 5. Went a little bit deep there, but that's okay. Since I went too deep there, the best thing to do is get onto that power gently and upshift quickly. Exactly what I've just done there to keep the bike from wheeling. Lean into the right-hand side for the Wien-Schlang for turn 6. Back across to the left hand for the Ruskin hook, and we are now on a good position to turn into the Ossenbroken for turn 8 for the Steckenval. So now once again, ride height device. Apparently I've said I was going to do it without the ride height device here, but unfortunately I've decided to use it at every time. But I can assure you, ride height device with or without on that particular corner is absolutely fine. So it's just entirely up to you, your preference, to how you want to ride. Sometimes I'll use it and sometimes I won't. Wouldn't use it here, God forbid, because you will be stuck. Don't use the ride height device anywhere else apart from this sector now because you're not going to be able to move the bike. Now into left-hander for turn 14. Still look at us on the brake there for the Ramshook corner. Still bringing the bike in tight to the apex as we get hard on the brakes. Make sure you turn across early here for the turn 17. Back across to the right-hand side. Hit your power, hit your ride height device, and across the line to secure the gold lap time yet again by quite a lot of time as well, by in fact 9/10 of a second found on that one. So pretty damn good if I do say so myself. So guys, I hope this video has been helpful. Apologies it was so quick and fast paced, but that is just the nature of the TT circuit of Assen. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.